Hello and welcome. My name is Meepolis and this is Literally Graphic. And today we are looking at My Solo Exchange Diary, Volumes 1 and 2 by Kabi Nagata, translated by Jocelyn Allen. Somewhat confusingly, this is a direct follow-up to My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness. Similar, but different, so warnings for brief nudity, self-harm, mental health struggle, hospitalization, and alcoholism. The summary of the first book is as follows. Nagata Kabi uses engaging diary comics to explore her personal issues surrounding mental health, identity, and intimacy. Her relationship with her parents is growing more difficult than ever, and she struggles with the idea of living alone for the first time. Join her on her heart-wrenching, relatable journey through the challenges of adulthood. But jumping to the second volume, we do end on a bit of a more positive note. Living on her own is harder than Nagata Kabi expected. Building relationships is difficult too, but with a new friendship to cultivate and a new perspective on her family, she's doing her best to open and become a warm, compassionate person. The art style is pretty loose. That really emotes the feeling of these little letters that Kabi is writing to herself. I never actually did this, but as a lonely kid with no friends, I certainly could have seen myself doing exactly this. I do have a picture I drew of myself my freshman year of university, sitting on top of a pillar in the middle of an ocean surrounded by shark fins. It was a mood. It also reminded me a bit of Are You My Mother, a comic drama by Alison Bechdel, the follow-up to Fun Home that has more of a focus on the relationship Bechdel has with her mother. It also has a very similar color scheme, although Bechdel and Kabi are obviously very different people in very different contexts. Gender and sexuality is much less of a thing than in My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness. There's a lot more emphasis with family and friend relationships, although Kabi does dip her toe into dating a few times. That and all the worry Kabi has, especially in the first volume, of how the public and her family will receive her first foray into very vulnerable memoir territory. Race is not a thing. Ability and disability in the mental health flavor is very central to most things Kabi has written so far. Pretty complicated real-life stuff that's hard to really commentate on because it's nonfiction and defies easy review. Certainly an interesting read. There aren't many other translated manga like this, at least as far as I know, so it does offer a fairly unique view into some place so different from where I am. I ended up rating both of these volumes 3 out of 5 stars. Bye y'all, keep reading and resist white supremacy. And as always, Literally Graphic is recorded on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation. I live here because of British colonization, Indigenous genocide, and more geographically specific, Treaty 13, also known as the Toronto Purchase, which was finalized in 1805 between representatives of the Crown and certain Mississauga peoples. This treaty was a lie and has since been broken many times over. Saying so reflects only my own small steps towards knowing the truth and does nothing for reconciliation.